All right, guys, we are live. I can see the chat going crazy. Like, come on, what's going on? I'm 3 minutes late. Yes, 13 minutes late, technically. And I had a beautiful video today, and it got copyright struck. Okay. Um, or claimed, and only certain countries could see it. And I was testing to see what would happen. I didn't know. And that was a mistake. That never happened before. Usually they'll copyright strike it or whatever, or not really a copyright strike, but like a claim ID on your video, and you can dispute it, but everyone can still watch it. And then it happens behind the scenes. And that's what always happens. And it's kind of rare. It's one in, 10 videos. I always win them. It's fair use. But anyway, hey, this happened and I was prepared. Okay. Had to get camera ready, y'all. Get back on. I wasn't ready to go live. You know what I mean? This isn't easy. So look, we're gonna do we have sound? What's going on? Yeah, we got sound. Yes, check your speakers if you're having trouble. I'm trying to read the chat here too. Okay. Well, look, people coming from all over. All right. So Heiser says you're muted. I don't think so. Yeah. Just okay. I guess I'm getting confused here. Tell me in the chat, y'all. Heiser says he hears nothing. My shit's working. I don't know. Is everyone? We hear you. Everyone else hears us. Heiser, try restarting or something. I'll give everyone a few minutes to come in. I do have a clip I'm going to play. At least one of them. I'm not going to play the other clip that got me the claim ID. So we're just going to skip over that. And I said some amazing things, y'all, in that video, just like mind-blowing, life-changing, and I forgot it all. So, I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Look, I'm going to talk about this little preview that Shawn Ryan put out about Tim Gallaudet's interview, and just kind of go over like underwater bases, USOs, like this whole idea. I've got some thoughts on it. I'm curious and then we'll answer some questions and let everyone else, give their thoughts. Mr. What says, sure you did. Yeah, it was called sarcasm. Mr. What? Come on now. Of course, I didn't say anything profound. It's me we're talking about. Okay. All right, we're getting up to 223. That's good. Again, my apologies for that. Yeah, look, it happens. I do daily videos. I use other people's content, right, to react to and to show for reference and whatever. So sometimes these things happen. This is the first time that's happened. Not that there's been a mistake with the video and I had to go live. That has happened a few times. But this whole YouTube claim ID thing or whatever. So anyway, all right. I think everyone's good. I'm going to go ahead and first of all, I'm going to do what I always do at the beginning here because I like to know, where is everyone from that's watching right now? I see 251 people. Where's everyone watching from? We got from New Jersey. Little Rock. There we go. New York. Oh God, I got to get back to New York, man. Yeah, Wana. There we go, baby. Kentucky. Yeah, roll call, Heiser. Blackpool, Lancashire, Pittsburgh, Brooklyn, North Carolina, Pittsburgh, Philippines, Chicago, Scotland, PA, Oslo, St. Louis, Aguadilla, vámonos. International Space Station, Seattle. Oh, I want to go to Seattle. Philly. There we go. Montreal, Portugal. Wow. Oregon, Minnesota, Battle Creek, Michigan, Nuremberg, Germany, Mississippi, Poland, London, West London, South Australia, another Philly, Abilene, Ireland, Ontario. Y'all are watching this, right? Look at this. Brazil, right? Patterson, Netherlands, Japan. I love this. Australia. Dude, this is so cool. I'm telling y'all, I'm in Texas, Cornwall, I believe that's UK, Bend, Oregon, Florida, I never heard of that town in Florida. Pinellas. I don't know how you say that. Mars, New Orleans. Oh, Nolans, baby. France. Wow. Arf. Arf. Hello, Ali put Arf. That's how I say it. That's my nephew say it. Toronto, Finland. Venus. Norway, Sweden. This is crazy. I feel like some people are lying. There's no way that we're all from all over the universe, are we? This is crazy. Well, at least I mean the world. Arf. Georgia, Devon, UK, or Devon, I guess would be the correct, right? What am I saying? Devon, listen to me. North Carolina, wow, that's cool. Johnny says he's in his own dimension. I believe that. Georgia, Sacramento. All right, look. 302 watching Scandinavia, well represented today. Yeah, Zeta Reticuli. Come on now, Ohio. All right, Ohio. Look, this is, let me bring up. Let's watch the clip, okay, of Tim Gallaudet. So again, a little preview. If you join Shawn Ryan's Patreon today, you can see this full interview. Okay, so if not, you got to wait a couple days. But right now, if you join, you can see it today. I haven't been paid to say that. Nobody told me to say that. I'm just telling you what the facts are. Not my Patreon, Shawn Ryan's Patreon. You join mine, you will not get access to that interview early. You will just get access to our Patreon meetings, which coincidentally is tonight, where we hang out on Zoom. Basically, we hang out in StreamYard like this, and I bring everyone up on camera, and we all just hang out and talk. So if you do want to join our Patreon, go to our website, vetted.show, SHOW, and you can join the Patreon there. So anyway, let's get this clip going, and then we'll talk about Tim Gallaudet, USOs, underwater. Honestly, Tim Gallaudet brings up a lot of things in this preview here that I'm about to show you guys, and I find it fascinating. All right, let's get it going.
I get this email on the Navy's secret network, SIPRNet, and it's from my boss's operation officer. I was reporting to a 4-star admiral, U.S. Fleet Forces Command. His operations officer was a 2-star, and the email was sent to all the subordinate commanders. This is at least 20 flags and SESs. All the deputies are copied on it, and the title of it is Urgent Safety of Flight Issue, all caps. The body of the email said, if any of you know what these are, tell me ASAP. We are having numerous near midair collisions, and if we don't stop it, we're going to have to cancel the exercise. And attached to the video was the now famous leaked Go Fast video. F-18 pilots captured video of this UAP zorching over the water. There's no flight control surfaces or propulsion means that are visible. It's just a little round sphere.
What are some of the things you've encountered as an oceanographer that you know?
So here you go. When I was
up at night. Let's talk about the Submariner.
I am what I am. I have the scientific background as an authority on these topics of ocean science and exploration. A submariner came to me, and virtually and he just said, hey, I was on a sub in the 80s. I'd like to talk to you about what I saw. And this guy is like most nuclear submariners I know. He is just the facts. They get a passive hit, a contact, then it paused and then started closing on them rapidly. That was every feature that a Russian torpedo would have in terms of the constant bearing, decreasing range at a very rapid rate. And they were so convinced, he called the captain of the bridge, they set general quarters and they dived.
Project Beta.
Project Beta the story of Paul Benowitz and the evolution of the modern UFO myth. And what it's about is a civilian physicist who was on contract to work for the Air Force, I believe. He was one of these people who was a civilian researcher in the UAP in the New Mexico area where that's a hot spot. And the Air Force deliberately deceived him and exploited him and even broke into his house to make him believe that there was going to be an imminent alien invasion. He basically nearly went crazy. And the Air Force did that deliberately. And
what?
The main perpetrator in the Air Force is a guy named Richard Doty. He's quite well known in the UAP circles. And that's what he did. And I can see that happening right now. And you can tell they're obviously obfuscating. They are deliberately not saying what they know and saying things that are patently untrue.
Why are they putting out false information?
It's the policy at the top level of the executive branch that directs whether they want to disclose or not. It makes a lot of sense because, UFO people want to see it. But if you were Biden, would you want to tell the American public, hey, I can't keep our airspace safe. It's being visited by entities whose intent I don't understand and I can't control it. Same for our water space. Do you think you want to announce that to the American people on the verge of the election and say, I'm not doing my job, I can't keep y'all safe? I don't think so.
Why are you focusing on underwater stuff?
Yeah, well, first off, we know we see them in the water too.
How many encounters have we had of UAP, UFO activity in the water?
The last example that I saw was from the USS Omaha, and there's other examples too. Classified examples I can't talk about, but confirmation that we see these things underwater.
Do you think there's different kinds? Do you think that there is a possibility that some of these are kind of nuts and bolts types crafts and some are maybe something to do with consciousness, maybe something to do with some type of spirituality? What are you thinking?
I think the answer is yes. There was another encounter where UFOs were seen to go into the water. The ships all got vectored to go look for these things. And Canadian divers were interviewed and claimed to have seen these two underwater discs and actual occupants outside the craft trying to repair it.
I'm sorry, what? Right? I'm sorry, what? Occupants trying to repair the craft underwater, right? The divers saw this. I've never heard that before, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever heard of that, right? That's fascinating. Because what action did the diver see that made them think they're repairing this disc, right? Did they see like underwater welding? Like what, you know what I mean? They have a hammer out, like they saw him with a screwdriver, a power drill. Like what action? Like how long did they witness this? Like I can't wait to see this interview to get more details about this, right? Because that's a specific action to describe. They were trying to repair, right? Like they weren't just like having fun outside the craft down there, just swimming, just like having fun. I don't know. Do aliens have fun? They got to have fun too, right? So I don't know, but that's interesting, right? 2 disc underwater, divers see it, and they witness occupants outside the craft trying to repair it. First of all, what happened to the craft? Did we shoot it? Did the Canadian government shoot it? Like just something happened, like a flat tire sort of scenario, like just wear and tear on the vehicle. How do you repair something aren't like UFOs like one piece? Like I don't know. I guess they're all different, but that's interesting. I mean, that's nuts and bolts. Why are you repairing something, right? Like that's nuts and bolts. I mean, it's just like, what are they repairing? You know what I mean? Fascinating. I don't know. And was it a big enough repair, like urgent, like cute, or was it just like, again, like a flat tire scenario, or changing out a windshield wiper, right? Not literally, but that extent. That's fascinating, right? I cannot wait to see this interview again. Like I mentioned before at the beginning of the live stream, if you go and join Shawn Ryan's Patreon right now, you can watch this interview today. If not, you got to wait, I think, a few days. I've Shawn Ryan did not tell me to say that. I'm just giving you guys the facts here. Not endorsing it either way. I personally want to see it. I cannot wait to see this interview. There's other cases he's going to talk about in there, it sounded like, right? Of course. But also the stuff he said about Paul Benowitz and, Richard Doty. That was interesting, considering that we spoke about Richard Doty last night with Jon Stewart, right? So interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. I don't know. That he's basically saying that, these people are putting out misinformation into the UFO world, right? Wow, I don't know. Okay, let's go to the chat here. What's the chat? What's the chat saying? Chat, I hope everyone's being nice, respectful, respecting the mods. Ali says UFOs break down too. Yes, they do. Apparently they do. Who knew? It makes sense, right? But also, Tim mentioned like, well, there's some consciousness involved as well, some spiritual aspect. I mean, I don't know, right? This is interesting. I like Tim Gallaudet. He seems very credible to me, down to earth, well spoken, no BS, just kind of tells it like it is, right? He was involved with the Go Fast, one of the first people to see that. I think he's probably one of David Grush's 40 witnesses. And I mentioned that in another video that I made, that I think he's even an eyewitness to something. Not just photos, data, stories. I think, potentially. I don't know. Again, speculating here. But fascinating story. I'm curious, what do y'all think about this repairing the vehicle, occupants repairing the vehicle? Have y'all heard of something like that before? I don't know. Okay, I don't see anybody answering that. All right. Well, that's off topic, Rocky Woo. But okay, yeah, nobody's heard of this. This guy says everything there was old news. How is it old news? It's never been spoken about. What are you talking about? You may not like it or disagree, but it's clearly not old news. Yes, I heard that part of the interview. No, I just meant, have you heard of it before? In the Virginia case, the Udo crashed. Not that it crashed. The occupants were seen trying to repair a UFO. What about that? I mean, I hate to say it, but Jason Sands, whistleblower guy, his story was that UFO had crashed. Remember, he was looking for help to repair his vehicle. So that's, I don't know. And underwater, like fixing it underwater. So like the beings were swimming around like divers, or did they move through the water like a UFO? If that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? This is so interesting. Were they wearing suits? I don't know. Yeah, these are Canadian divers. It's, Ross Coulthard talks about that repair story in his book. Oh, really? Okay. Well, I didn't know that. So this story has been out before then, of these Canadian divers. Justin says, I think this story broke last year. Okay. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. I'm learning. Yeah, Flex Seal repair. I don't know. Here we go with the I don't know. Okay, Moshkin, listen, dude. Calm down. Let me see you do a live stream, brother. Okay. All right, throw me your questions here. Let's go at it. Let's hit me with it. I've got some comments about UFO bases and whatever. I guess I'll kind of get into, but let's get into this. Shoot me some questions here. All right, I'm gonna put this one from Joe. They might have been repairing a sensor. Yeah, I mean, who knows what they were repairing, right? It could have been all kinds of things. Justin, you work on planes and stuff. I mean, like, you know, who knows what they could be doing outside, right? If they're being like, I'm sure it's just a whole new system of repair, I guess. Where in Canada? I do not know. We'll have to wait and see till this full interview comes out. Again, link in the description. Go check it out. Again, you can watch it today if you want to pay the Patreon. Agreed, Patrick. Have you heard of any locations of underwater bases? Yeah. The video, my video today was going to cover this one in Alaska, right? The stuff in Alaska. And there's a link in the description so you guys can go watch it, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want anything to happen. But basically like this Alaskan triangle and these UFO bases underneath, right? But my thought was this. Okay. Why do you need a base? I don't understand this idea of a base. Like, what are they doing on this base? What are the beings doing? Living a life like as a military base? Like they just train all day? Like, what are they doing? They're hanging out? Is this a society? There's a whole culture down there. Like, what is happening in these bases? And why so deep? And the inverse of that would be us putting all of our bases at the highest points on Earth, right? I don't know. Why wouldn't it just be closer to water? Why wouldn't they just take over Earth? Why, you know what I mean? Why not be dominating? I don't like the idea of bases to me personally, but transmedium vehicles moving through the water, that makes total sense, right? Coming through the atmosphere, just could do anything and everything. That sounds interesting, but I don't know about the idea of bases. I don't know. So they have ships and they have occupants and bases. They park it. They got garages. Like, what are we talking here? What's going on? Like, again, I just don't see the point of the bases. To do what? To study constantly? I don't know. You know, that's my thought on these bases. I don't know. But that doesn't mean there couldn't be one just because I can't understand why there is one there, right? To be clear, just speculating, spitballing here. SG says, I think the idea of an underwater base, it's like an outpost maybe on the way to other planets they visit. No, I get that. But what's happening there? So that would mean it's running 24/7. There's just people there hanging out. Like, what do they do? What do they do all day? You know what I mean? What is actually happening? Like, try to picture what is happening inside the base. They sleep there. They work there. I don't know. Just confused. But could be an outpost. You're completely right, SG. Oh gosh, I can't say your name, but thank you for the super chat. What would you say is the least popular UAP UFO opinion that you believe? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to hear them all. Right. But you know what? It's more the bases. The ultra terrestrial thing, I just don't buy that. Me personally. I would take interdimensional, time traveling, extraterrestrial over all ultra terrestrial. It sounds cool, but really when I start to think about that, it falls apart for me, you know. And that would include underwater bases and living in, you know, deep in the ground by the Earth's core. And it's just like, okay, what? I mean, maybe. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, to me, that's, yeah. I'm not Not a fan. But that's probably it. The least popular. My favorite is the time travel, us from the future coming back to visit us. That's my favorite. But, who knows? Let's see here. Oh gosh, I can't put up your name. If you have a crazy name, I can't put you up on the screen. Space traveling makes you tired, so they set up underwater SPAs. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I guess it makes you tired. I don't know. I don't know. They probably refuel using elements from water. That's possible. Totally possible. Absolutely. But again, 24/7, they need this hit, right? Like, it's an intergalactic gas station. Who's running it all the time? Like, is it automatic? Maybe that's possible. So it's just temporary bases. No one's actually there. They just can use it whenever they want. All right, that does make more sense. It's most likely that we encounter the scientist of the non-human intelligence. I've often wondered that. Who are the personalities? Who are the representatives from these species of aliens coming to visit us? Who did they send us? Right? You're saying scientists. David Duchovny has a funny theory about the dentist theory, where there's just like these crazy dentists, intergalactic dentists. I don't know if y'all have heard that before. It's weird. I don't know. Maddie says atmosphere is different from planet to planet. Liquid water exists in very specific circumstances and would be easier for them to exist in that medium if not from Earth. Yeah, I've heard this before. The idea that basically that's a commonality, right? You're flying around. It's like, oh, we'll just get to the water places. It's like leapfrogging, right? That's where you can sustain yourself the best. So you're going from water to water, I don't know. That sounds unlikely, just considering access to water the same way our oceans are everywhere. Like, that's your thing. Like, you would think you'd just create something for space, which is the most common atmosphere. Nothing. But I don't know. Who knows? Andre Wright says, is there a connection to the younger Dryas and them? I don't know. That's possible. All of that stuff is fascinating. I am a believer in like ancient civilizations that have died off right before us. That 100%. Now, maybe there were advanced civilizations, and I guess maybe that's one of the theories. They were around, they were popular, and then a few of them went under. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's possible. I don't know. A lot of this is speculation, and it is fun, right? To sort of discuss the what ifs of the water. I do think water plays a big part. There is massive amounts of the ocean that are just unexplored and hard to explore. I think we know more. I think it's said that we know more about space than we do our own oceans, right? Hard to get down there. The pressure, right? And explore. And maybe not as romantic of an idea. I mean, look what happened that submersible. Was it last year or the year before? Right? That was like a passenger submersible. I forget what it's called. 5 or 6 people. It was like an Xbox controller they had and went down, and that was the end of that. That was the end of that tour. So, and that makes it hard. So this idea that vehicles could go down and not have to worry about that. But then again, what are they repairing? I sometimes feel like my guy needs a history lesson on the phenomena. It's not new. They have been here and interacting with humanity for a very long time. Yeah, we all need a history lesson on the phenomena at all times. Nobody knows everything. Or studying the ocean is the main objective for these oceanic types. Totally possible. That seems likely, right? All the life, atmosphere, whatever. Yeah, it could be. Totally. Kid Soros says, what's an unconventional take? Aliens, not from space, not from Earth, not from the future. I don't know, my digital aliens. Right? Who knows? I mean, yeah, not from space, not from Earth, not from the future. What about from the past? Right? Other dimensions, other things we don't even know to say. They're from, right? What did I say the other video? Tremensions, right? They're from some other, who knows what? I don't know. Us from the future seems very likely. Thoughtless, controlled by AI, hive mind, and we lose our muscles and generals. I think they mean what you think they mean. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that's the idea, right? So these beings look like us because we stopped, we became more telepathic, so our brains got bigger, our skulls got bigger, right? We didn't need our bodies anymore. But again, my whole thing is you would go digital. You wouldn't even, biological bodies would be like just like so yesterday, like we don't need that. We can just go digital. Why are we even dealing with the real world here? If we believe they are thousands of years more advanced, then we must believe anything is possible, including, for example, simulation theory. Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, it's all possible because we don't know. And even tomorrow can bring a change in the thing that you think is the most truthful thing you could know, right? Tomorrow could change that. That's the interesting thing about any truth or fact. It can change in an instant. So therefore, anything is possible. Doesn't mean it's plausible, or what is the percentage of, that plausibility. But possible, yeah, always and forever. Because tomorrow can always bring a change. Right? But yeah, absolutely. Simulation theory is still very interesting. What did I miss? Yeah. So many comments. My bad, y'all. Okay. April says, what are your thoughts on the Terrence Howard interview? I made a video about it. I thought it was interesting, entertaining to say the least. Whether or not everything he's saying is true, I don't know. A lot of other mainstream scientists don't seem to think so. Some people do. Asking questions, pushing boundaries, trying to confirm is what we, think is true. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's his life, right? He spreads his message, and if people want to join, then they join, right? So I'm happy Joe Rogan had those conversations. like that. Again, to me, that's old school Joe Rogan. Some people are like, "Oh, you hit the bottom of the barrel." Like, what are we talking about? Again, it's a conversation. Either that was cool or that wasn't cool. Is Terrence Howard breaking, I don't know, breaking breaking new ground and like killing gravity, as he put it. I don't know. But it was interesting. I'm happy to watch things like that. Again, at the very least, it's entertaining. Maybe the aliens use camouflage and we can't see them all the time. Sure. Or khakis. What was it? Khakis. From the other video. That's an inside baseball joke. Yeah, totally possible. Although they might consider it cloaking, right? Isn't that one of Lou Elizondo's 5 observables, right? Low observability. Easy Crepe says, how can we be so sure there isn't some separate branch of intelligent life that has evolved and never had to deal with the same setbacks we have had on land? We can't be sure. Again, anything you're going to bring up is like, yeah, it's a matter of what evidence have you seen of that and how plausible is that, right? It's like, do you want to spend your whole life looking into that, what you just suggested? Or, I don't know. But yeah, is that possible? 100%. Do we stop at the ocean? No, we don't. Whatever we think we get a benefit, we go out and do it right. As humans speaking, why wouldn't they be doing the same, exploring? Again, it's really just physical restraints. Think about it. The oceans have what's called international waters, right? You don't have international land. Maybe Antarctica would be the only example. And that's just because nobody, you know what I mean? It's for research. The oceans are interesting. The days we start splitting up the oceans, like there'll be a country entirely made up in an ocean. That would be interesting. Somebody should do that. Claim it. Pierre says, regarding the Canadian diver incident refers to the Shag Harbor incident. I don't know. Could be right. Is that right? Patrick, would you like to meet NHI? Under the right circumstances. The humanoid look is against the theory of them living in ocean. They would probably look way different than us. Probably, right? But again, we don't know. I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. But maybe not. And who's to say they are all the same? Vetted, I only meant that underwater establishment would make sense if they've been here for thousands of years. I didn't call you out. The lag got us. It was relevant when I posted. Oh, please, Heiser. Come on. You know that. We're always all good. Happy for anybody to push back. Mods, no mods, it's all good. Absolutely. If you have a difference of opinion, that's what this is about. It's no worries at all. It totally would make sense if they've been here that they would have some establishment like Atlantis or something, right? 100%. There's no question. Extreme experience. In an interview with Colonel Jesse Marcel, he says they tried to dent with a sledgehammer and the alloy wouldn't even dent. Yeah, you've heard that a lot. These things are kind of indestructible, but also donated, also crash, and potentially they also get repaired. It could be a mix of different types of vehicles and purposes for those vehicles, right? So they're just maybe older models, newer models, right? Do they have that? How does that happen? Do they have a country where then they pass laws and private companies create it and come? Does that make sense? Like, are they just working like, you know what I mean? What are we getting? What model are we getting? What models? Maybe newer ones, older ones. how maybe they've evolved, right, over the years. We've seen some of the older UFOs, and they got new ones. Do aliens have a sense of humor? Are there alien comedians? I wonder. Absolutely. I wonder about all that. It kind of seems innocuous and mundane to think about, though, but why not? If we're really going to start thinking about, you know, other entities, extraterrestrials, whatever, other beings aside from humans, why wouldn't we think about their culture, their society, every part of it? And humor is a huge part of human experience. Laughing, even in the animal kingdom, right? Having fun, joy, laughing in their own way, right? Some animals do laugh like us, right? But just joy, playfulness, fun, right? You see that in children of all, animals. And that's fascinating. Aliens aren't that way. Matt Daddy says Kurt from Toe did a good follow-up to that interview. He did. The Terrence Howard interview. He did, in fact. And he had on Lee Cronin, I think is his name. Gosh, I might be getting that wrong. They discussed it. I thought it was a great conversation. Agreed, Matt Daddy. Or Maddie Daddy or whatever. Definitely go check that out on Kurt's channel, Theories of Everything. Gosh. Oh, hilarious. Do aliens have YouTubers who talk about us and Earth? Would be interesting to listen to. I mean, and I know at first you think, oh, that's funny. But look, I agree. Do they not have a system of communication, public communication, right? Like YouTube or radio or TV, or we're the only beings to come up with TV? That sounds interesting. And what does that come from? Why did we come up with television, film, cameras? What was the purpose? To an entertainment, right? That's interesting. That is interesting. The military press release on the Roswell crash stated that they recovered a disc. How could they say that if all that was found was scattered pieces? Well, maybe they put them together and saw a disc. Who knows? But depends how much of they had to determine it, right? Just a smidge pushback on Kurt's follow-up. They needed a chemist and an artist poet to discuss the between the lines concepts Terrence was talking about: sound, color, frequency. Okay. Well, I don't think anything's going to be perfect, right? So all I meant was just it's worth checking out. I'm sure other things could be added to it. So I don't consider that necessarily a pushback, but more just in addition, I'd like to add, right? Hmm. Every ancient culture's religion talk about a time before man that lived for untold millennia that either went up to leave this planet or went or were cast out below. I mean, yeah, a lot of the religious stories converge and are mirrored, echoed, if you will, shadows of each other. Again, our history, something on this planet, other things happen that we don't know about. on this planet, for sure, from other cultures, civilizations. To what extent and what, I don't know. But people are looking into it and they are trying to uncover. I don't know. Did y'all see that Graham Hancock? What was it? Flint Dibble, or what was that guy's name? I think that was his name. God, I may be getting that wrong. But they had a interesting debate, right, about this and archaeology and understanding our past, is equally as important as trying to guide our future. It's like our rudder. The past is like our rudder, That's interesting. Richard Jolin just finished a book on USOs. That's cool. I find USOs absolutely fascinating. I really do. I absolutely do. Something about it. I don't know. Rumor is it there were 2 UFO recovered at Roswell. I've heard that. Going to Roswell this summer. That should be interesting. I'll let you know. Okay. How many were recovered? No, I'm just kidding. This says Benny 420 says, please, Patrick, talk about Anunnaki going down to collect gold, bypassing written deals. Okay. We just talked about it. There you go. The Anunnaki wanted gold. The Y-Files did a great episode about it. I recommend you go check it out. Go to their channel. Just put in Anunnaki Y-Files into YouTube. You'll find it. It's a great episode. Interesting story. The way they put it together was fascinating. We are all vultures. There's an old case my grandpa told me about from Gosford, Australia. It sucked up a lot of water and dropped it back down. A ton of witnesses. I've heard of that in a few cases. Oh, that's interesting. What was that? That Nope movie, right? And that UFO was the alien, right? And it would suck up and then spit out, right? I remember that scene with all the blood coming out. Like, that's interesting. I wonder if it's pulling up water to use some of it and spit it out for energy, or it was getting life, right? Gathering all the fish and everything or whatever out of it for study or whatever. That's interesting. I feel like there was a Gosford in England, a story of Gosford or Cosford Park. That's what it is. Cosford. Sorry. It's Cosford. It's Cosford. They don't have TV entertainment in Star Trek. Yeah. Why is that? Are you telling me we're going to lose entertainment as we advance? That sounds boring, y'all. Right. Now, granted, there could be a compromise, right? Entertainment can get too out of hand, and then we're idiocracy up in here, right? Psicoactivo. That's Pavel's channel, y'all. If y'all haven't checked this out, go to Pavel's channel, Psicoactivo. He interviewed a Mexican pilot on there. I recommend y'all go check out that interview. It's awesome. And all the other interviews that he has on there. He says, wouldn't it be weird if the Greek gods still existed and they are the ones responsible for some of this phenomena? That's what Steve alluded to. Aphrodite is supposed to be a congresswoman. So Pablo is talking about Steve is the whistleblower before Jason Sands. So the day before Jason Sands came out in that Twitter stream, a guy came out in another Twitter stream called Steve. Now, that's not his real name. He's still anonymous. And he was meant to sort of back up Jason Sands, right? And he told his own crazy experience, which I shared on Vetted. And he did talk about Aphrodite and Malachi and these other people. So is that possible that the Greek gods exist through us, like reincarnation? Possible. Is it probable? Have I seen evidence of that? No. I just have a guy talking about it. But, who knows? That is possible. Were the Greek gods based on something more real, right? And it's just turned into these myths, but they were based on something real. Sure. It is fascinating. That's for sure. Great question, Pablo, as always. Mr. What says, if you don't know where you came from, you won't know where you're going. All right. I like it. RJ says, massive cities buried under the Amazon. God knows what is in them. Absolutely. I agree. The Amazon has so much that we have yet to uncover about our past. And when I say our past, I mean humanity, not me as a Texan or American or a male or anything, as a human, right? Our past. So much we don't know. And the Amazon, absolutely, just like the oceans. There's so much of Earth we have not uncovered. We have this like inclination that we just have it all figured out here on Earth. That is not true. So, which kind of goes in direct contradiction to what I said earlier in the live stream about ultra terrestrials, right? Yes, I'm an enigma wrapped in bacon. I don't know. Colleen says USOs are my favorite topic. Dude, I love talking about USOs too. Got it. I mean, do you think an ant can understand us humans? Well, we actually don't know that. Burker said that was an awful movie. Nope. Yeah, it kind of was divided people, right? I personally loved it. I loved the idea of the UFO being the alien. Like, that was great. I did not, for me personally, I thought that was a great twist. I super enjoyed it. Dave Davies said, Patrick, have you looked into Autech at all? Are you spelling that the right way? Because I don't know. Yeah, Jordan Peele. Nope is a Jordan Peele movie. I'm a fan of Jordan Peele. Now, but I get why some people may not like that film. Oh, how far am I off the comments here? Hello, Patrick. Question: would you panic if you found out you were living next door to an alien race that was able to shapeshift and blend in unnoticed? Panic? I don't know. Probably not. Panic doesn't really do any good. Yeah. I'm not much of a panicker. I would think of a solution. I just want to make sure there's no threat and work. But maybe I'd learn how I could do it. What's the UFO case where the video recorded of it was then translated to frequencies and held an audible message? I don't know. What is that UFO case? What is that? That's interesting. I don't know. Who knows? Who's got the answer to that, y'all? That's an interesting one for sure. I don't know. What was the audible message? Watching vids. I'd be, Nielsen says, hey, Patrick, thanks for the daily show. Thank you, Nielsen. What's your thoughts on the likes of Chris Bledsoe and the view that the phenomenon is a spiritual one? Yeah, I mean, he's fascinating. Could it be spiritual? Yeah. Could there be many components? For sure. Do I think more and more as I get older, there is a spiritual component to just reality? I don't know. I go back and forth on it, to be honest. Some days I'm like all in on it. Other days I'm like, nope. I don't know. Why that is. I've never had really any real spiritual experiences myself that I would deem spiritual. But Chris Bledsoe is an interesting person, right? Because this is someone making claims that they can do things, interact with spirits and and that's interesting. Or at least claim they're interacting through him or whatever, right? It's like when I said, oh, Chris Bledsoe can heal people. People are like, he's not saying he can heal people, Patrick. He's saying the entities are doing it. He's not taking credit for it. Okay, get it out of here. Okay, what do you think? That's exactly what's happening. He's saying he can do it through the entities. It's the same thing. Okay. And to just be like, oh, I'm not doing it. This is the other entity. I mean, come on. I'm not a fan of that. But who knows? I could be wrong on that too. But definitely a great question, Nielsen. Mosh says, hey, Patrick, I'm sorry for my I don't know comment. It wasn't meant to be an insult. Love the show, bro. Keep embedded. Yeah, all good, man. No worries. I move on like a river. Matt Daddy says, we are the Greek gods who destroyed their masters. It's allegorical. Totally possible. Heiser says they were the Elohim. I met a Amish dude named Elohim one time on rollerblades randomly in a cornfield. Yeah. So weird. Oh, viral. You already asked me that. In Sweden, we've had ghost rockets that have landed in lakes. So the theme of water seems to be recurring for some reason. That might be able to extract energy from water or something. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is fascinating. Again, the relationship to water and UFOs, or what we're deeming USOs, is fascinating for sure. Remember that movie Signs? It was like, oh, they can't get near the water. Right? It's like complete opposite of that. Like, they want near the water. I still love that movie though. All right, guys, I'm going to do 5 more minutes on the live stream here, and then I am going to go to the Discord after party and talk. We're going to be on chat. The Friday after parties are different on Discord, where we chat. You can join with your mic. There'll be a link. Just go to the regular place in Discord for the after party, and then you'll see the link to join the voice chat, or you'll see it on the left too. It just says Friday after party. So 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to head to that. Let me see if I can get some of these questions in. Last ones here. Dave B says, is Bledsoe the Bigfoot on Mars guy? Yes. Now, he does say it was a dream. But yes. I still think ghost rockets are just another interpretation of UAP, and specifically light orbs. What is the after party? How do you watch? Go to our Discord, link in the description. Join the Discord, and that's where you can go. It's easy once you're there. Oh, Shannon says, vetted, please cover the Collins Elite at some point. The Collins Elite. Okay. Love hearing about new things. I'm not sure if I know the Collins Elite. Mary says, Chris Leto is following a group of scientists in Sweden who are looking for underwater craft. Pretty interesting. Oh, that is interesting. Very cool. Colleen says, yay, mods. Thank you, Patrick. That looks like my dead brother. Okay. And totally makes me miss my Patrick. Have a good weekend. Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm so sorry, Colleen. Yes, thank you to the mods. As always. Again, I cannot do this without the mods. Thank y'all so much. They rock, y'all. Please make sure you give them a shout out. And you guys do. You guys always treat them with respect. So thank you guys, at least most of you. Mary says, Norway, I should really read the chat before I comment. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Trust me, I know. Leanne says, if you had a sighting, would you share it publicly? Yes. Absolutely. 100%. I'd probably share it right away, if I'm being honest, Leanne. Pretty. I mean, I guess it depends what the experience was, to be honest. What kind of close encounter. Yeah, I got, the more I think about it. But eventually I would, for sure. I would. probably sooner than later. You need to research these things if you want to understand the truth of it. Maybe not. P House says, what actually is the story of the tooth? Just what I said. Just a little roughhousing in the pool. Took a knee to the face. My own knee. It's my own fault. I can't blame anybody else. Look how tan I'm getting, y'all. I'm going to the pool all the time. I love being outside, y'all. It's summertime. I'm ready. Andre says, LOL, I am the alien guy at work. That's funny. Me too. Good news is everyone else is too at my work. Everyone here is the alien people as well. That's funny. I bet a lot of people in this chat or listening maybe are that person in their group or work or friends or whatever. Look, a lot of my friends are not really into this, and the ones that are not that into it, don't know a lot of the stuff that I will bring up. You know, they more all honestly, they just want to hear stories, cool encounters and cool story. Like that's what they don't care about this law or this book or disclosure. Like what, you know, they don't care. They just want to hear cool stories and from people and people's experiences, which I do have a project coming up about that I'll talk about soon enough, about bringing people's experiences together. I will announce that soon enough. That's going to be a very cool project, and it's going to require all the vetters and people from the vetted community to get involved, and I can't wait. Mary says, I want so bad to have a sighting. Yeah, I feel you. Me too, man. Oh, it's crazy. I want to have a sighting too. Question: do you think that this is my last question here? I think maybe, Patrick. Do you think that there are those who are told to discredit actual sightings by actual crew as part of the military or some of the government agencies? Maybe, but I think a lot of it is just people. I think just people, human beings. Is there some of that? Probably, but more than anything, it's just people. You know. So look, all right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the. Make sure I didn't miss. Thank you to everyone who threw out a super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know if I showed this one. Ben, thank you. You the man, Pat. Appreciate your perspectives. Thank you, Ben. So look, I'm going to head over to the Discord after party. Again, the link is in the description. Join our Discord. It is free, and I'm going to be hanging out in there for 15, 20 minutes or something, maybe 30. I don't know. Depends how it goes. And you can join with your mic, chat. We'll all hang out, and that's what we're going to do. So I want to thank all the mods for hanging out today in the chat and taking care of this last minute live stream. Thank you guys so much. And just want to thank everyone for watching and for supporting Vetted. Couldn't do it without you guys. So look, we'll see you on tomorrow's video. I will make sure it's not copyrighted before I put it up. And yes, I will see everyone on Patreon tonight. If you haven't already, again, go to vetted.show. And you can join our Patreon. We do it a weekly Zoom meeting, and right now they're on Fridays. It'll be tonight, so you can join and hang out with us. We get on camera and we all just hang out, so it's a lot of fun. So anyway, all right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And for some of you, I'll see you in Discord. There's some balloons. Remember, every day's a gift. Peace.